Welcome back to Stardew Valley. I'm your host, longtime listener. Be sure to drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and comment below. I don't remember what episode number we're on. It's getting up there, and we'll get into some details here shortly. Gonna just pause and look at the calendar here because we've got some stuff to discuss. First of all, I was on vacation. Our kids were on fall break, so I was out of town for about a week and haven't had a chance to obviously do any recording during that stretch. And then when I got back, actually while I was out of town, I saw that Madden EA Sports had finally published the big scouting update. If you're familiar with Madden at all, um, and so that was announced while I was out of town. Of course, when I got back, I was itching to crank up my franchise in that series. So I've done that, and I'm going to try and put a little bit of focus into those efforts over the next few months or whatever. But also, I got back and I'm looking at like what I need to get going for content. Why don't we just kind of get moving here? So anyway, the bottom line is I started thinking about what I needed to get going for content, and the more and more that I thought about it, I'm experiencing some burnout here on the Stardew front. So this episode is going to be the grand finale for this series, this playthrough. I've been thinking about this over the last couple of weeks, realistically, and the reality is, we're sitting here. What? Well, maybe we can go to Sam's band or his concert tonight as part of our grand finale. But anyway, I started kind of thinking about this playthrough in general, and the idea with this was that it was going to be a I want to make bombs. Because what would a grand finale be without a bunch of explosions? The whole point of this playthrough was to experience the Joja path, okay? Which we've done. Like I think we've done everything relevant to that part of the experience. And I started, kind of like thinking, like, why am I even still doing this playthrough? Like, we've already done that part, and oh man, we're out of bombs already. I wish I could buy more than that. So here's what we're gonna do. Go home. Golly, my computer is a wreck right now. But the reality is, like, I've done like everything that I still need to, finish in this playthrough. We've done in other playthroughs, and I know that maybe that's not fair to the folks who are watching a playthrough on my channel for the first time. But it's just like, we're in that grindy part of the playthrough, just basically trying to get to completion, which I'm just not feeling it, guys. I still have a Stardew Valley expanded run in the works, and we will continue that one. I'll try and probably get an episode posted like every other day or so on that experience, but this one is going to come to its close. So, there's that. And basically what we're going to do is just run around blowing stuff up. Oh man, that's so funny. The sound of it is hilarious. I guess you can't blow up warp obelisks or fish ponds, but you can blow up like fences. Is that going to get those melons there? It didn't. That sounds so weird because it's blowing up the floor, I guess. It just sounds so weird. I love it. But anyway, in other news, and this is sad, and I might not be able to get through this, because I'm sort of an emotional guy. Not sort of, I am. I get emotional real easy. Like, I get choked up when I'm trying to talk about anything that really means a lot to me. Like, perfect example, I used to play in a old-timey baseball league. And the last season that I played, at the end of the year, our league has a tournament for, like, you know, the playoffs or whatever. And as a part of that, oh man, they just all disappear. It's kind of sad. But look, it just blows the fruit right off the trees. Anyway, as a part of the league kind of wrapping up the season, they do like a big, you know, feast slash, I guess you call it a banquet. It's a banquet. But like, to give you an idea of, like, when I say old-timey baseball, the banquet was in a barn. So, anyway, look at this. This is gonna be fun. Wait a minute. I still have to, like, go pick those up? Let's not waste bombs on that. Sorry, slimes. You are all going to die. I'm going to just blow you up. Boy, it takes a bunch to blow them up, doesn't it? Are they not dying? What's going on here? Death to you, slimes. Oh, death to me. That's what I get for trying to kill them. Man, now I missed, yeah. Someone found me unconscious. Anyway, I just wasn't paying attention to my health. Not used to having to do... And I lost all those bombs, dang it. Rats. Wait, what's this? I'm so sick of... Really? I haven't seen this one yet? I can't believe we haven't seen that cutscene yet. Anyway, I was telling the story about the baseball stuff because they chose me as the team MVP. And so I gave up, went up and, accept the award or whatever and give a speech. I got super choked up just trying to give a speech because, like, one, I knew it was probably the last time I wasn't going to play the next season. So I was thinking about the fact that, like, this is the last time in my life that I will play baseball. Perhaps. I ended up playing one game this season because they were really short on guys and asked me to play. But anyway, I was choked up a little bit for that reason because I love baseball, and it was probably the last time I was ever going to get to play. So there's that. Oh look, Robin's at the doctor because it's Thursday the 18th. That's the day that she goes. And she likes spicy eel. Alright, so let's eat a little bit to replenish our health and then go blow some more stuff up. But anyway, so I got super choked up just trying to give that speech. Bunch of guys, like, I'm friends with, just talking about baseball, but, like, the league was a lot of fun. It really did mean a lot to me, and it was hard to give it up. I gave it up to try and spend more time with my kids on weekends because I just, I didn't get to do as much of that as I wanted. Wait a minute. Wasn't it Thursday when I died and it's still Thursday somehow? What in blazes? It's weird. We're gonna make a bunch of bacon down here. Oh, look at our ostrich. He's so big and so cute. So we probably have an ostrich egg in here. Look, I blew up all those truffles. Yep, ostrich egg. Boom. So I can put that in there, and that will give me another ostrich eventually. Anyway, So I got super choked up. And I tell you all of that to tell you this. Well, to set the stage for this, because I might struggle to get through what I'm about to try and talk about. I have a cousin that I grew up with in a small town in Pennsylvania. You know, we were in the same high school class. So, you know, when you live 5 miles from your cousin, and you're the exact same age, like, you're gonna be kind of close. And we were. Now, there were a lot of cousins in the area, and, you know, I was certainly not as close with him as some of my other cousins eventually would end up being. But anyway, a few years ago, he was diagnosed with cancer. I don't even have room for all that stuff. Let's just throw all this flooring away, because we don't need it. And let's grab our melons. But anyway, he was diagnosed with cancer. And he, you know, a few years into his battle with it, he was swimming, and it's funny, I can blow up all those bombs, but it doesn't kill the chickens or whatever in the immediate vicinity. Let's just sell all this stuff. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so he was battling cancer, was swimming. Thankfully, his brother was there with him. But he just all of a sudden said he didn't feel really good. He was kind of getting lightheaded, and he, like, passed out. Well, apparently he was having heart trouble. And, like, his heart stopped. He was legally dead, and then they revived him once the paramedics got there. Really scary. So there was that. And then eventually he kind of got over the cancer. Like, he beat it. You know, he was in remission. And then just a couple of days ago, we found out that he was being rushed to the hospital because he was having trouble breathing. And so they took him to the hospital, and he had a bunch of tumors that had apparently spread through his lungs to the point where they were talking about trying to operate, but once they really got, like, a close look at it, I need to blow stuff up so that I take my mind off of this as I'm trying to tell you the story. It was so bad that they couldn't even operate. So, of course, like, family flew out. He's in LA. He's a movie producer. And so, you know, family flew out. And by the time, you know, the last of the family members were able to get there, they had already pretty much made the decision to take him off of life support. And he died about 5 minutes later. So that was... It was just tough, because it was... I mean, we knew he had health issues, but, like... you know, the last time I had caught up with him, he was doing okay. You know, like, the last big news that I heard from him is that they put out his movie. And I can't remember where you can go see it. And now that I'm thinking about it, I can't even remember the name of it. But anyway, he passed away late Saturday night. They're going to have a service out in California, and then another one in my hometown probably in a couple of weeks. So I'm going to have to go home for that here shortly. But it'll be nice to be home, but under horrible, horrible circumstances. So here's Sam's concert. I think we told him honky tonk as the kind of music that they should play. But this sounds more techno-ish. At least, it's hard to make a synthesizer not sound techno-ish. Come on, get into the honky tonk part. Nope. This guy over here is liking it. Of course, Emily's dancing. This guy could care less. You got some out-of-towners here that are at least, you know, they're showing some support. Who's this here? It kind of looks like Emily in her aerobics attire. Look at... Hey, you... Why aren't you up here with me? Well, anyway. So there you have it. What was their name? I can't even remember. Those electronic sounds were far out, says Emily. Nice work, guys. Shane was digging the bass line. Thanks, everyone. You should really be clapping for Evan. Of course you should. You know, the guy with the copper pan on his head. Cool, cool. Don't forget to pick up one of our demo cassettes. So I guess maybe this movie was supposed to be set in the 90s. Or this game. Because cassettes didn't make it past the millennium. If you still had cassettes, like, in your car after... I guess we'll give you till 2000. No, not even 2000. I mean, like that's... You've made some poor life choices. Alright, what else can we do to kind of wrap this up? I feel bad because it's going to be a short episode, but there's really just not that much to get into here. We're just going to blow a bunch of stuff up here. It's a whiteout. It's been a nuclear war. Look, it stretched as far up here as to do some damage and knock down a tree. I didn't think I got that close to those, but I couldn't really see where I was going, so... Well, this was a sad episode on numerous levels. I'm sorry to have told you that story. I really don't know why I did. I just feel like I needed to talk to somebody about it. And I'm actually surprised that I made it through that story without completely getting to the point where I've been choked up. But I've had a few days to kind of like embrace it. Still hasn't really hit home. You know, he's my age. Like, it just doesn't make sense that something like that can happen to somebody so young. And man, he's got 3 older brothers. He's the youngest of 4. I'll tell an interesting story about his family. His oldest brother was married back, I don't even remember what year it was. It was in the early 2000s, somewhere in that neighborhood. But anyway, yeah, I think it was around that neighborhood because I feel like I was in college. But his wife was at a Foot Locker or something at the mall. Yeah, they still had those. I think they still have Foot Locker. But anyway, she's at Foot Locker and she's buying some shoes, and on the checkout counter there's like a thing to sign up for the Century 21 Home Run Derby, which, like, you know, at that time, Century 21 sponsored the Major League Baseball Home Run Derby, and every player represented one person, like one contestant, and if that player won the Home Run Derby, whoever they were representing got $250,000 towards the purchase of a home. And my cousin's wife was represented by Jason Giambi, and Giambi had won it the year before. And winning the Home Run Derby back-to-back is pretty rare. But nonetheless, if you feel pretty good, like, one, just to even get to be selected is pretty cool. So they got to go to the, All-Star game and the Home Run Derby or whatever. And then, she's represented by Jason Giambi in the Home Run Derby, and he won. So she ends up getting $250,000 towards the purchase of a home. And I can tell you this with certainty: where I grew up, $250,000 goes a long way towards buying a home. And what they did was actually pretty smart. my uncle sold them his house for $250,000 so that they could spend it all. Okay, because if you buy a house that's only worth $150,000, that's all you're getting. You're not getting the other $100,000 later if you decide to buy another home or whatever. So he sold them his house for $250,000, even though it was not anywhere close to worth that much. If you sell it as is without an inspection or an appraisal, you can get away with that. So he sold it for $250,000, and then my cousin sold it back to him for $1. So basically, they end up getting the 250 grand from Century 21, and then they went and bought a nice house in our hometown for way less than that. And then he paid off his student loans and paid off his truck and stuff like that, to where it was a life changer for them. But pretty cool to know somebody who won in that contest. I don't think they do it anymore. But anyway, it was just funny, like watching the home run derby and seeing my cousin there next to Jason Giambi. And my cousin is like, he's not real tall, but he's like jacked. I mean, he works out all the time. He is a stocky dude. And next to Jason Giambi, he looked kind of small. I mean, like in the chest, they looked about the same, but Giambi had him by like 7 inches. And I don't even think Jason Giambi was a super tall guy, but my cousin's just kind of short and muscular or whatever. So anyway, all right. I think we're pretty much at the point where I'm not really sure what else to do with this, guys. There's nothing else that we can really accomplish because it is the finale. So let's go ahead and call it. Actually, let's come in here and blow some stuff up. Can you blow up casks? Or does it just empty them? Oh, it straight up blows them up. What about the ones down the middle that... Even the ones that were like there when Robin built you this place, they go away. That's kind of sad. I was thinking that maybe it would just like pop the wine out of them first, and then maybe you would go back and blow them up. Whatever. All right, that's going to do it for this one. Oh, wait, no. Well, we can't do our sign off. Whoops. So it's okay though. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, jump into the Stardew Valley Expanded playthrough if you haven't already, because that's the one that we're going to try and continue. Hit some comments below if you've got any feedback, questions, concerns, etc. And we'll catch y'all next time.